lesson. This is a lesson about Shivji, his wife, father-in-law, that is Daksha Prajapati. So we are going to understand what is this that happens even in the world of gods. So let us not assume that they are bereft of this, but anger, lust, greed, all kinds of things are there prevalent in this material world. They are not enlightened ones. Nobody is enlightened over there. So let us not assume that, oh, this is the world of gods and they know everything. Sorry. There is a problem and which we are going to understand today. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Canto 4, Part 1, Chapter 2. Daksha Prajapati curses Lord Shiva. So verse 1 says, Vidura inquired, why was Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughter, envious of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his daughter Sati? Lord Shiva, who is the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity, is a peaceful personality, and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. How is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality? So here the question is being raised in front of Maitreya Muni. I am sure you remember how this whole story has been progressing so far. Vidura has been asking questions to Maitreya Muni. After he has travelled all over the world and come back, Uddhava refuses to answer him. So he is told that Sri Krishna has told that Vidura can go to Maitreya Muni and ask him the questions. And that is the reason why Vidura has landed in front of Maitreya Muni and he is asking the question. The question is very, very poignant. It is absolutely something which we would love to find out more. So the question is, why is it that Shivji, who is such a kind person, Shivji is a very, very kind God. He is the spiritual master of this world. Spirituality is his main, aim. Though he is among the trinity of gods, but he is considered one of the highest. His department is destruction, as you know very well. But in terms of spiritual knowledge, he is highest. So they asked, the question was, here is Shiva, who is such a nice God. He is free from enmity. He doesn't have any enmity with anyone. It could be any person. See, you have seen so many stories. Daksha Prajapati is one of the stories. You will find Ravana is there, Kumbhakarna, his brother is there, Kuber. There are lots of other, demons and all who try to disrupt him. But yet he is not at all angry with anybody. He is, on the contrary, he is a peaceful person. And he doesn't hold enmity against anyone. So he is free from enmity. He is a peaceful personality. And he is always satisfied within himself. That means he is lost in the self most of the time. If you have seen a picture of Shivji, Shivji is constantly lost in his own world. He is always in a meditative bliss. It's only once or twice that he must have got very angry. If you remember the story where he opens his third eye, sometimes that is there. But otherwise he has nothing to do with the world. So he sits peacefully. All that he has to do, he doesn't do any fights on his own. He creates a proxy, somebody different, and then that he has to fight. So the question raised by Vidura was, why was Daksha Prajapati, who loved his daughter so much? Daksha Prajapati's daughter was Sati, if you remember. So he loved his daughter a lot. And he had given his daughter in marriage to Shivji. But he was always against Shivji. What was the reason for it? This reason is what we are going to find out today. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the reason is given. I'm sure you also know the reason, but think like this. It's a matter of great ego. And that when the ego comes, nobody is bereft of ego. Nobody cares, when your mind is gone completely off, anybody and everybody can fall down. So here the question is, why did Daksha Prajapati have to curse and say bad things about Shiva? Where Shiva is such a kind person, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't involve himself in literally anything. He sits peacefully. And he is the greatest among the demigods. See, last time we understood, when we were doing the story of Dattatreya, that these three gods that are there, that's a Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they come and stand in front of Atri Muni. And Atri Muni very clearly tells them, I haven't called you all. So why have you all come in front of me? I was speaking to the supreme divine consciousness, which is beyond all the three gods that are there. That is, they are beyond Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva also. So I was not talking to you all. I was talking to an entity far beyond you all. Why have you come? So they explained to him that we are the essence of that divine, all three of us put together. Okay? And that is the reason why we are here. Because the supreme divine consciousness doesn't come. It's a divine consciousness. Remember that. So here, he is called as a demigod. Naturally, he has got functionalities which are connected to one particular department. Brahmaji is a creator. Vishnu is the sustainer. And Shiva is called the destroyer. Shiva cannot produce. No. Shiva is not capable of creating. Creation always is with Brahmaji. And Brahmaji has come from the navel of Mahavishnu. Please remember these words. So Shiva's job is only destruction. But he is spiritually perfect. Spiritually perfect. And yet, being spiritually perfect, why is it that Daksha Prajapati is giving him curses and saying some bad words to him? So this question is being asked to Maitreya Muni by Vidura. Verse 3, my dear Maitreya, to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and a father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? Can you imagine this situation where the clash of the ego happens? The first ego, the second ego and the third ego. I am not going to get up for my father-in-law. Number one. Number two, who does he think he is that, he cannot get up because I am the Daksha Prajapati, I am the ruler of this world. And the third, how can my father talk to my husband like this? Is the third. Everything is connected to I, me, myself. So what does that tell us? So that there is something which we need to explore. We have to find out the truth. So the scriptures are written for a certain reason. So I gave you how the world will look at this situation. So the question asked to Maitreya Muni is, how is it that this happened? This is naturally, even for you also this question is definitely going to be there. How did Daksha Prajapati say something bad about his son-in-law? How did his son-in-law treat his father-in-law? Why did he do that? And the third one is, why did his daughter commit that act of sati? Why did she do that? She burnt herself. Why? So this why is very, very important. So today we are going to address the why. The sage Maitreya said, in the former times, the leader of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which the great sages, philosophers, demigods, fire gods assembled with their followers. When Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered that assembly, his personal bodily luster as bright as the effulgence of the sun, the entire assembly was illuminated and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. So now here you will find the story begins. In that there is a great yagya being performed. Okay, this is a great sacrifice being performed. And in this sacrifice, all the gods, the denizens of all the heavens and other places have been called. The demigods are there, the fire gods are there, all kinds of entities are there. Literally, the whole universe is over there. At that moment in time, the one who is doing this, called Daksha Prajapati, he is the leader, the head. Prajapati, I have explained to you all Prajapati. So he is a leader amongst the tribesmen, amongst the clan, amongst everybody. So he's got one land and where he is ruling, so on and so forth. So when he is coming in, he is literally entering that palace. And when he is entering that palace, what happens? The whole place is lit up. Everybody who is sitting over there in the assembly, they have all come to watch this sacrifice, isn't it? So Daksha Prajapati enters, his face is glowing, he is a very grand person. It's like a king who is entering that palace. And when he is doing that, everybody looks at him with awe. Okay, everybody looks at him with awe. And they all are they are saluting him. They basically are going to be subservient to him because he is such a grand fellow. Influenced by his personal bodily luster, all the fire gods and other participants in that great assembly, with the exception of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting place and stood in respect for Daksha. Now this is the norm and this is what everybody is supposed to do. When somebody great comes in, it is your duty to stand up. Your duty to stand up and praise that person. And maybe touch his feet if he is some great person, or welcome him. If there is no seat around, it is your duty to offer your seat. This is a common norm of the society. We are all supposed to do like that. Everybody gets up. There are only two who don't get up. One is Brahmaji and one is Shiva. Now, Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma's respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. Now, Brahma is the one who is actually supposed to welcome him. I'm sure you have seen in many great venues where there is a speech to be given, they have some chairs put on the dais, and then when the main person comes, the one who is supposed to give a speech, welcome speech. So that in this case is Brahmaji. Brahmaji is the one who, remember, Daksha Prajapati is his son only. So, though he is elder, Daksha Prajapati can bow down to him. It's allowed. Being fatherly figure, so he is allowed. So here, Brahmaji welcomes his son. Brahmaji welcomes Daksha Prajapati and garlands him, and all those kind of things happen. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry and his eyes glowing. He began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva. This is a very dangerous precedent over here. You will find that Daksha Prajapati looks at Shiva over there. He hasn't even bothered to get up. I am such a great persona. I have come over here. The whole world has got up to receive me. This fellow, who is my son-in-law, he doesn't even respect me one bit. Why doesn't he get up and stand and, give me respect? And Daksha gets very angry. And he begins to speak strongly against Lord Shiva. Now, when people's ego is tweaked because of a lot of things, it could be because of a bloated ego, or it could be because of a deflated ego, whichever the case might be. We demand respect in this world. See, human beings, they feel that they should be respected. I am this, so everybody has to respect me. The idea that everybody wants that respect is their understanding. So here Daksha Prajapati is also of the same opinion. He says, okay, why aren't these people giving me any respect at all? And especially my son-in-law, what does he think of himself? He's just my son-in-law, I have been gracious enough to give my daughter to him. Are you getting it? So Daksha Prajapati is very upset with the whole thing. And he speaks very strongly at him. Okay, so we will go to the next verse. All sages, Brahmanas and fire gods present, please hear me with attention, for I speak about the manners of a gentle person. I do not speak out of ignorance or envy. Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and have polluted the path of gentle manners, because he is shameless and he does not know how to act. These are very harsh words. Daksha Prajapati is addressing the whole crowd over there. He says, we are the governors of this whole universe. We are the bosses. And we have territories. We mark out, places that this belongs to me, like that. I am the head of that place. And here is the person who should be bowing down to me and touching my feet, is not even willing to do any of those things. He says, please understand, I am not saying because I have got this ego. I hope you get the point. He is pointing out, I don't have any envy. But it is protocol that is important, isn't it? Don't you think this protocol is extremely important, that when a great person like me walks inside this place, people should bow down? It is a part of the protocol. And this protocol has not been followed by this person over here. He says, he is such a shameless person. He is calling Shiva shameless. And he says he is spoiling the name and the fame of all these governors. That means all Prajapatis. He is spoiling the name. He is saying, okay, I don't care about these people. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and Brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Now this is also another protocol. The protocol is this: when you marry someone, your forefathers. That means whether it's your father-in-law or mother-in-law, or your father or mother, they get a higher status. You are only subservient to them. So during the wedding ceremony, it is important to touch the feet of the parents and the in-laws. So the in-laws are given a higher position. It is the in-laws who are performing what is called as a very important ceremony. So that ceremony in cases, it is called Kanyadan. I am sure you have heard of Kanya means daughter. Dan means giving away. So when the father gives away his daughter to this person, that means when Sati was given to Shiva to get married, okay, so naturally the father-in-law becomes a greater person, a higher person in the hierarchy of things. So when that happens, he is always supposed to be subservient. He is always at a lower level. There is no such thing as he can rise higher. Son-in-law is always considered lower. So whether you are the son or son-in-law or whatever, or daughter-in-law, you are still subservient to your forefathers. That is your parents or your in-laws. So he says, I have given my daughter to him, and yet he is subordinate to me. This is the protocol. So this is the second protocol he is talking about. The first one is he should have respected. Shivji should have got up and respected the position that we are in. What is the position? We are Prajapatis. And there are so many Prajapatis over here. And everybody is supposed to get up and bow down to them. They are naturally subservient. They are below them. So that is number one. Second one is he is my son-in-law. He should have bowed down to me. Why isn't he doing so? And now he says something very weird. He has eyes like monkeys. And yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. My daughter's eyes are so pretty and beautiful. And this fellow's eyes, he's calling Shivji like that. He's got eyes which are like monkey's eyes. Okay. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome with sweet words. He should have at least welcomed me. He said, he should have said, welcome Dakshaji. I'm very happy to see you over here. At least a few good words could have been said by him. And yet he did not say. What is this? Look at his eyes. My daughter whom I have given in marriage has got such beautiful eyes. His eyes are like monkey. I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility. Because of not observing the required rules and regulation, he is impure. But I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the message of the Vedas to a Shudra. You think I felt that I should give my daughter to this guy? From which angle do you think this person is worthy enough for my daughter? My daughter is a daughter of a king. Here is a person who is roaming around in the Himalayas naked. Are you getting that? And that too on a bull. I have chariots. I have gold. I have this. I have that. Look at him. He's such an ordinary person. Okay. He doesn't even have civility. He doesn't even know how to speak properly. He speaks so badly. I mean, at least there should be some civil behavior in a person. Huh? How does he behave? He has not observed the rules and regulations. See, there are protocols in place, in every place. Think like this. The protocol is like when the king is there in front of you, everybody is supposed to come from behind. When Donald Trump went to United Kingdom, when he went to England, he was going ahead of the King of England. It is not protocol. He's broken the protocol. You are not supposed to go ahead of the king. It's a rule. You may be a great king of some great country, doesn't matter. You are just an elected person. Whereas that king has been, he's a monarch. He's a person who has been appointed because of his lineage. He's got blue blood. You don't even have blue blood. So basically what it is translating into is that there are certain protocols and you cannot break them. Understand, in our daily life also we have certain protocols. And these protocols need to be followed. So you should never break these protocols. But I am a great person. With my kindness, I handed over my daughter to him. To an unworthy person like Shiva. Daksha Prajapati is talking like this. He is of the opinion that Shiva is unworthy. He should not have been given the daughter in marriage. But just because I am a follower of the Vedas, that is why I gave him the daughter. Because if my wife and people have given their words, I have to do it, isn't it? He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ash all over his body. He does not bathe regularly. He ornaments his body with garlands of skull and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy being in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. So now, the father-in-law is very upset, all because of one thing, because he didn't get up. What is he saying? He lives in filthy places, dirty places, especially the crematoriums. Crematorium where bodies get burnt. So he likes to stay over there. Just the smell of the body burning is so dirty, he cannot even bear it. And to live over there where bodies are getting burnt. There is so much of ash flying around, there is so much of dust over there. Somebody's body parts are strewn all over, there is blood and there is gore. The skulls are cracking. Have you heard the skull crack by any chance? Those who have gone for cremation, it's a very important action that happens where the skull literally bursts. Tup, it will give some noise. So I imagine somebody is staying over there with all the blood and the gore and all the dirt over there. And there are ghosts and goblins over there. Imagine, crematorium. Why would anybody want to go to the place where people are burnt or people are buried? Why should they go there? Aren't there ghosts over there? Are there unearthly people over there hanging around? So there are demons and ghosts over there. They come to eat the flesh. They come to eat a lot of dirty things over there. And especially when all that death ceremonies are performed, are they not there? So, so many people have been burnt in that places. Okay? Everybody's ghost is lingering all over the town, isn't it? See, even I'm sure you will understand this. Suppose somebody dies in your house. Okay? And he has got a room, where he dies. And after he is dead and gone, do you will feel afraid to go inside that room? Do you think you will allow your children to go in that room? We are all scared because we think the ghost of that person must be lingering over there. Because anybody who has got desires of all kinds, remember in my other satsangs last month, I gave you a satsang where even this much of desire is there. That desire will make you a ghost and you hang around forever. That is dangerous. Till somebody releases you. So imagine there is a person in your house, he is dead. And when he is dead, his ghost is lingering over there. So imagine, Shivji is staying in a place where the ghosts are prevalent all over the town. And his companions are demons and ghosts and all those, Correct? So they are all Ganas. He is a Gana's head. He is naked. He doesn't wear any clothes at all. Have you ever seen Shivji? He roams around, sometimes wearing that elephant, this thing around his body. And he sits on tiger skin. He doesn't even wear clothes. Have you ever seen Shivji wearing clothes? You will find that Vishnu wears clothes, Brahmaji wears clothes. Shivji is only naked. His wife also is like that only. Have you seen Kalima? There are skulls around their neck. Imagine that. He wears a garland of skulls and bones. Okay? Therefore, only in name he is Shiva. He is pure by that name alone. Just because of the name Shiva. Shiva means auspicious or purity. But he is impure person. He is most mad. He is a crazy fellow. Anytime when he is playing his damru and going around dancing over there, you have seen the way he dances? It's a crazy person. An inauspicious creature. When he is there, inauspiciousness is there. He is very dear to crazy beings and gross mode of ignorance. He is their leader. Of all the crazy people in the world, all the idiots in this world, he is the leader of them. So Daksha Prajapati has literally poured as much of venom that he had about his son-in-law, Shivji, by saying all these kind of words. On the request of Lord Brahma, I handed over my chaste daughter to him, although he is devoid of all cleanliness and his heart is filled with nasty things. Just because Brahmaji came into the picture and said, I should give my daughter to him, that is why I have given him, I have done a very great favor. He is not deserving of it. Why will I want to get my daughter, who is always living in such comfort and such great places like a palace and all that? She is the king's daughter, to be given to somebody who is dancing naked all the time? Can you imagine that? But because Brahmaji interfered, that is why I had to give him my daughter. Otherwise I would not have given him. My daughter is so sweet and beautiful. The sage Maitreya continued. Thus Daksha, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Now this is the curse which comes about. Normally, the cursing happens when you are very angry and upset. Now when a person curses like this, the curse comes to fruition. So what does he do? He takes water, washes his face, and the mouth. Because when you want to pronounce a curse, you wash your mouth, make yourself pure, take a little bit of water and sprinkle it. That is the way in which curses were given in the past. You'll find that Kamandalus and all, I'm sure you have heard of all the great sages who are doing this kind of cursing. They did like this. So Daksha Prajapati is a boss of the whole universe, big portion of it. So he takes water in his mouth, rinses his mouth, and then he pronounces a curse. The demigods are eligible to share in the oblation of sacrifice. But Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of the demigods, will not have a share. Every sacrifice that happens, every action that happens, everybody in the world is going to get benefited out of it, except Lord Shiva. He is not going to get benefits. No. Why? Because he has gone against me. So I curse him in this manner that nobody will offer him anything. So, oblations that are offered, whatever that is offered to the fire god that is there, anything that you perform, any kind of a ceremony that you perform, it is the Lord Prajapati's order that the oblations will be given to every other person except Shiva. So this is the curse he pronounces. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, in spite of the request of all members of the sacrificial assembly, Daksha in his great anger cursed Lord Shiva, then left the assembly and went back home. So what happens? Daksha Prajapati, he pronounces the curse. After pronouncing the curse, what happens? He leaves this assembly. He says, now I am going. Where I am not respected, I don't want to be hanging around. And so he gets up from there. Though everybody over there is very much afraid that he should not have done something like this. It's his own son-in-law. Nobody should say anything against the son-in-law. But he has already done. So he says, okay, now what can be done? And Daksha Prajapati then walks out of that assembly. So we have come to the end of verse 19 and we will stop over here for today.
Recording stop.